Okay, let's begin. Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Praise be the spiral. I just cracked my head. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's definitely quite a big cut on my head. Well, not really a cut, it's just like a graze on my skin. But is it visible? I can't really see it in the camera, but then I have to look down. But yeah, goddamn sore. Yeah, it's visible. Right. I was pulling my green screen up, and there's some boxes just behind it, some plastic packing boxes. And then as I stood up, I just whacked my head on it. But I think rather than just like slam my head on it, I think I hit my head on it and then grazed it across the top. So if I occasionally kind of do this, where's my tissue? You know why I'm doing that? Just to keep an eye on it bleeding. So it did bleed a little bit, not too bad. Yeah, bald man problems, no hair shield. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Joy, eh? Anyway, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. Let me load some stuff up. I wasn't prepared well enough. What's this? This is the Mega 65 stuff. Let me open the right stuff. God, what's happening? I got disconnected. I need to change my alert as well. I need to change my sub alert because I got a YouTube copyright claim today from episode 9, believe it or not, claiming copyright on that alert. So I need to change it. Really frustrating. I don't know why. I mean, it's like 5 seconds of music. That music's a bit loud, isn't it? Or is it just me? Well, finally saved up for a lawyer. She's been saving up the little bits of money. Yeah, they do run bots, but I imagine that they don't have everything in all at once, and they just kind of slowly add stuff in. And they've obviously added Kim Wilde, so I'm fully expecting all however many episodes it is of my stream to be completely demonetized. Not that I make any money on YouTube anyway. I make probably about £20 a month or something like that. I don't make a lot at all. Oh god. Yeah, they do. They do analyze on upload now. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh damn it! It's stinging a little bit that on my head. Right, let me just make sure I've got all my windows open. I just wasn't prepared at all. Thank you, Doc, for the resub. Thank you, Proud7, for the host as well. Got anything to say before we get into tonight? Not really. And the competition, well, both competitions. So this month's demo competition is coming to an end next week. So you got one more week to get those entries in. We've got a couple of. I know of at least 2 entries now. So we're not completely without it. This editor is Sublime Text 4, I believe, whatever the latest one is. Sublime Text. It just says stable channel build 4107. I think it's Sublime Text 4. Yeah. You started using Vim and you fell in love. God, Vim makes me angry. Vim just makes me want to scream. I like this because it's fairly lightweight, and you can kind of add the things in that you want, and it's just what I've used since I started. Isn't Vim a toilet cleaner? Yeah. Hey Andy, how's the holiday going? You know what? I take it you're on holiday now, right? Or not at home anyway. Yeah, so that competition is coming to an end next week. Also, the Mega 65 giveaway competition is coming to an end as well soon. So on the same day. So make sure if you've got an entry for that, you test it against the latest version. Well, the version from 2nd of November. I have tweeted about it. I think I pinned a notice about it in the Christmas compo room. Just make sure that your thing works on that. So, happy birthday, Gahim. Are we allowed to use interrupts in the demo part? If yes, don't we need to shut the interrupt off before returning to the loader? No, the loader will do that. So the loader will turn all the interrupts off. So yeah, when you return back to the loader, the first thing it's going to do is disable the interrupts. No, I heard the listen. I heard listen. Definitely. Thank you for the sub, Honorage. Resub. Very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Phew. Yeah, so you're perfectly fine to use interrupts if you want to. I mean, it would be kind of crazy to expect you not to use them, or tidy them up. So that's good. Listen, it's an interrupt. It is an interrupt. Yes. Okay, I mean, that's all I've got to say. I started printing off. So this is the color scheme that I think I showed you this the other day. This is the color scheme for the new Mega 65 cases. I've done 3 of them now. 3 lids anyway. I need to do the bases, and I think I'm going to use the same color scheme for the retro cubes as well. So the retro cubes are probably going to go to Andy and either SP or Steps. I can't remember who's ahead or if it's still close or not. So these things, they'll be done in black with orange question marks on as well, just because I've got loads of those colors. So it's easier for me to do it. And the black's kind of nice. You can't really see it on stream, but it's got kind of a sparkly effect to it. Almost like it's got a little bit of glitter in it. But it's not like chintzy, glittery, kind of girly, glittery sort of thing. It's kind of a nice sort of effect. It's called Galaxy Black. So I think the idea is it's supposed to look like fake stars in the background on it. But it looks kind of nice. It's a little bit different to just plain black. So, a sting in that, I gotta admit. Oh, man, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. I panic when I've only got a few minutes to go and I'm not started. I just kind of panic and run around doing things. Oh yeah, Steps is ahead by about 80k or something like that. What a perfect moment to wear a Santa hat. Yes, my Santa hat is on the shelf up there, ready to go. So this scar here, this is just from me hitting my head just before the stream. Why do I have so much of those colors? No, they're just the ones I have the biggest reels of. So I have like 1 kilo reels of those. So the other colors I don't have very much left of. So, and I just wanted to. I'm not sure which ones are good quality. These were freshly opened as well. So, so they're the hydration of the thing is low. There's no water been absorbed into them yet, which unlike the other filaments, I'm pretty sure there's water going to them because they're really brittle. So I should probably just I need to get myself a filament kind of whatever it's called, filament drying station or a food dehydrator. All right, let's open the right file, give you all some points, and then we'll crack on tonight. So open recent Cecconoid, that's what I want. So I thought what we'd do tonight is I had started doing the sprite drop for the Robotron screens. God, I can't think straight today either. I've had a really bad day for thinking. Hope it goes well tonight. Should be a bit more relaxed though tonight. For the Robotron screen bonus, bonus drop. But what I was thinking was, I was thinking about how I want sprites to dynamically load on some screens. So I'm going to do some small rearrangement, which is going to give me a bit more room to do code on the dynamic screens, a bit less room for sprites, but then we can actually store the sprites in that code as well. So if a screen has sprites that are unique to that screen, we can load them in. So what are you on about, Hobo? 20 minutes pharmacy, start broccoli, carrots. Reorganize. No, I'm not doing much reorganizing code. I'm just gonna I'll explain what I'm gonna do now. Let me just start the races for everybody and then I'll go through it. Did I actually update the stream title? I did here. Please behave good with yourself. Yeah, I'm just having one of those days, you know, where I can't talk properly or anything. So okay, and Andy's timed you out anyway. Yeah, just I'll leave that down to you guys to deal with. Okay, races. Right, there we go. There's the races. Oh man. Okay. So what I was thinking, let me show you the sprites that we started doing, and I'll show you what I want to do with them. So, so these were the sprites, and you can see we've got room for quite a lot in here. 189 sprites to be precise. I don't know why there's a few missing off the end, but there's 189 sprites on this. But what I was thinking was, we can probably remove some of these sprites from this area and only put the very common sprites in here. So like the swarm sprites can probably be removed. I'm going to leave them in there for now. What I'm going to do is just this one here, these sprites here. So the container and the star. So the things that are just going to happen on the end of that on the end of that Robotron screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them out of there, and I'm going to reduce this down to, let me get this right in my head, 96 sprites, which now doesn't look like many, but we're going to be we can move some of these out. So for instance, these could be moved out, this could be moved out, all of this swarm could be moved out, because these are things that only happen infrequently. Zub could be moved out as well. If I do move anything out of here, I need to leave certain things in the same places, like these mask things. But the idea is, what I'll be able to, and like these, I think these are Robotrons from a different screen, actually. But anyway, let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to just save and export this. My head is really a bit throbbing. I don't feel concussed or anything, but it's definitely throbbing. Okay. And then what I can do is I can create a new file and I can paste in these sprites. And I can just reduce it down to exactly as many sprites as I need. So we just 3 sprites. And then I can save those sprites in a way that I can load them into the maps dynamically. So yes, we've got the Robotron on screen 20. So what I'm going to do, oh, I've uploaded the new HVSC, by the way. So HVSC 75 is there. So Throbbing Hood, Prince of God. Really do have a breakfast theme. It's everything very small on screen now. Shall I make this a bit bigger? Is that better? Maybe like that. Jesus, oh my God. And Andy swallowed a joke book. Thalamus has swallowed a joke book. Okay, so the idea now is what I can do is, not that one, is I can save these sprites out. That's the one. Stop opening the wrong things. God damn it. I'm going to create a new folder and call it Screen Sprites. Call it S20. So this is Screen 20 Sprites. And then when I export that, I'll create a bin folder. Call it S20.bin. So what that means I can do now is on these screens, and this is where I want to kind of work the memory map out a little bit. So from C000 onwards, we use as VIC banks, as a VIC bank anyway. I'm just drinking water tonight as well. I haven't put it on my thing because I didn't have time because I cracked my head. Which I'll leave the lid off that. It's a cold one as well. Got half, almost drunk a warm one, and I've got a cold one as well. So you'll see in here, at the moment we're kind of loading them into all sorts of weird places, but what I think we can do is we can move these around. So actually I'm going to put the memory map down here, and I'm going to add things as we go along. So okay, so we've definitely got VIC stuff at C00, and this is going to run all the way up to E7FF, and this is going to be screen, chars, and base sprites. And what I mean by base sprites is the sprites that aren't going to change, so the one in the main sprite file, and then E800 up to, I think it's going to be like FF. I think it's FFE8 is what I've got it set up to at the moment. Is going to be dynamic screen code plus sprites. So this is one I want to fill in. I want to make sure I know where everything is. So that means I can move this down to E800. And I'm also going to do the same on this one here, and this one here. So I'm going to go and change all of those. And what that's going to do is it's going to move us from having 2 kilobytes up to 6 kilobytes, or just short of 6 kilobytes. And we'll be able to put the sprites at the end. And I'm going to make a macro to get the sprite pointers for various things as well, which is going to make things a bit easier. So let's start by getting all these cart files kind of sorted. So let's actually I'm going to make a new folder in here, and I'm going to call it dynamic. I'll just call it dynamic because that'll be enough. Where did that actually go? Did I actually create it? There we go. Right. So anything that I'm going to put in these sections here is going to go in the dynamic code area here. So let's start with them one at a time. So let's do the laser first, because they're all in weird places at the moment, and I don't want them to be in weird places. I want to start tidying things up a little bit. So laser is in here. So I'm going to move that. Actually, let's do it from in here. Right. Okay. So laser, and I'll have to re-import these, or change the imports for these. So laser now goes in there. God, why can't I refresh that? Does that do it? No. I have to go in here and do refresh folders every time. That's frustrating. All right, laser. So I just have to change that there. So the advantage of this, it means we can have a bit more screen-based code. We can have a bit more room for all that screen-based code.
and we have more room for the dynamic code as well. But because it lives in the Vic bank, because this code is up in the top of the lick bank, so I read Eminem lyrical name drops. It means we can put the sprites up there as well. So, for instance, we are using sprite F0 here, so we can probably change this sprite F0 to something at the end of here as well. So I'll do that in a second as well. I'm going to make a macro to get the sprite indexes as well, to make things super easy. Okay, so let's do all the files, and then I'll leave them open and we'll come back and sort them out. So let me split the screen into two. So yeah, it means I can load in a code bank and a sprite bank at the same time, and have the sprites as part of the code, so it won't be too complicated. It actually reduces the number of files, because there is a limit to my file system on the cartridge. I think it's 256. Not that I think I'd hit that, but if I can reduce the file count, then it will be better anyway. So that's one file that we need to do. So let's find where that is. Let's make sure all these load in. Dynamic. And a swarm one as well. I think swarm is one, so just close that. Swarm dynamic car. Yeah, okay, so let's change that to swarm in dynamic. Let's move it from here to here. And then change that to E800. Oops. Okay, cool. And then Robotron and Robo Prize. So it's these two here, which I have to go and find in here. So that's in game. Where's dynamic on? It's right above it. Let's open another one there, but yes, as we hadn't done anything on the prize yet, we just created the file for it. 250. Well, 256 files. The number of banks is kind of irrelevant. There are 256 banks. Actually, no. There's hang on. How many banks are there on the Gmod cart? Well, I mean, technically, it can go up to 256 because that's how many the register can contain. Right? It's a single byte register. However, that's not files. My system can have a file that is a fraction of a bank, or it could be many banks, but it can only have 256 files. There is a limit to the file table. So if your files are very small, then you would use, and you had 256 of them, you would use less than a cartridge still. So it's just about kind of cram as much as you can into each one of these files, basically, and a file is just a contiguous block of memory that's loaded in one piece. So by doing that with these, by using the sprites the way I want to use them, that should limit the number of files that we use, while at the same time giving us the flexibility of having sprites built into the code as well. Can't you load a new table? I could, yeah. I mean, I could change it. It's just that the code I've written, it just has 256. Basically, when you add a file like this, it's assigned a single byte number in a table, and then that references a file allocation table. So when you go, so I'll show you the macro. Actually, it's quite easy to show you the macro. So what happens when you add a file? It's D64. Here we go. Okay. So when you assign a block of memory to a file name, what happens is it puts that in a hash. It puts the file name in a hash table, and has an index. This fat index thing, and fat index is just a number from 0 to 256. And so what it does is when you then go to load it, it looks in the hash table for that file name, finds that fat index, and it uses that to work out where it is in the table. I think it's limited to 256. Actually, thinking about it, it might not be, because it just loads addresses in, because it takes fat table. It might actually work with more, but I think looking at this, 256 should be plenty anyway. I mean, if you're using more than 256 loadable files, then you probably need to rewrite it or rethink how you're doing it. But yeah, the idea is it just looks up in a fat table, it grabs that index, and it uses that index to look up. There's an area of memory on the cartridge which actually is 256 because it reserves exactly enough room to store the details of that bank of that file. So it has a start address where it starts on the cartridge, where it ends on the cartridge, and that's a 64 that's a 16-bit address and a bank number. So it takes 3 bytes for a start, and then a length which is 2 bytes, and then some other information as well. I can't remember what the other information is, but yeah. But anyway, 256 should be enough. As I say, should be enough for anybody, as the famous quote from Bill Gates in his memory quotations. Right. God, my brain really is not working. I wish I could say it was just the bang on my head, but it's not. My brain's not been working all day. I forgot what the word for virtual. I forgot the word or the phrase virtual machine this morning. Something I use every day, but I couldn't remember what it was called. My brain just refused to accept it. And also, I looked at the word snooze on my in 2 places today. One on my phone when the alarm went off this morning, and one on my meeting Outlook meeting notifications, and the word snooze looked wrong. I mean, look at it. Look at this word. How wrong does this look? It's just a weird word. Doesn't look right at all. It's not a good word. Feels like a joke word, like somebody was having a laugh. Anyway, okay. So these are our dynamic code. So now we're going to just make sure that that it works. The laser. Actually, the laser will still work as well, but I want to write some macros to simplify all this bit in a minute, and you'll see what I want to do. Okay, something's not loading. Because I'm in the wrong. Wait, no, that is the right file. Why is that not loading? Failing to find something. Oh, laser offsets, but okay. There's another file loaded in somewhere. What's it down here? Is it loaded in? Ah, there it is. Okay, laser offsets.bin. So I will copy that in as well, because I don't think that should be on its own. I think that should live in the same place. So anything that's dynamically loaded in, we'll put into that folder from now on. So, but we'll call this. Yeah, let's make an assets file in here and put stuff in. So laser offsets.bin will be in assets, even though it's just data. It doesn't really make any sense to have a separate folder for a data and then just for that one file. And then we would need to also put any sprites we export. So instead of putting them in, where is it? Is it that one? No, instead of keeping them in here in this folder, I'm just going to remove that and put it into. Actually, let me just put that there. Oh, because it's open. Oh God, fine. All right, copy it like that then. There we go. S20.bin. Right. In fact, it probably shouldn't be called S20.bin, should it? It should probably be called something else, but we'll leave it as S20 for now. Okay. So let's try compiling that, building that, should I say. Oh man. Vincent and Santa Claus. It's getting to that point, isn't it? It's almost Christmas. We're looking forward to the Christmas stream. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so now we're getting these out of memory errors because this thing. So what I want to do, this is one of the macros I want to make. So let me find macros. Here we go. I'm just going to add a new macro in here. And I'm going to call it dynamic bounds check, like that. And it's not really going to do anything other than this check that we've got at the end here. And we'll pass in a name like that, or I'll call it I'll just call it dynamic bounds, so it's not too long. So pass the name in here, pass in a hex string to say where the end is, and then we can check if it's bigger or equal to, what was it, E8, like so. Cool. So now we don't have to type that every time. We can just do dynamic bounds and then the name. So all I have to do is here. Do it, and there we go. That should check it. So just going to check that works by putting a low number in. People are still using the PP29 quite a bit, I think. I tried a little bit before the stream. I think people are still overusing it, but it's definitely less effective. Like I'm if I get killed with a PP29, it's because I'm close to somebody. It's not because they're fucking miles away sniping me with it. And also I've blown up so many hovercrafts now. I had a really good game last night. I wish I'd have played like that the other day. Okay, why is it failing now? Oh yeah, there we go. So it's saying out of memory, blah blah blah. Cool. So it has failed correctly. So let's put this back to FFV8, and now this should build in theory. Unless I've probably got another one of those checks somewhere. Yeah, I have. Where's the other one? Dynamic. No, memory. Wait. Robo Prize. Okay, so I need to copy that. I started watching a new Korean drama as well on Netflix called Hellbound, and it's awesome. It's really good. If you like kind of, it's not really horror. It's just kind of like it's hard to describe actually, but it's good. It's really good. About to hit level 60. Yeah, I think I got 57 or 58 today, so I'm doing all right. Okay, cool. So it's loaded up. That's good. We're just going to check a few screens to make sure everything's working. It should be. The only thing that might not work is the laser, because it might be encroaching on the code a little bit, but it's fine. I know what I need to do to change it. So let's go and check that first anyway. Oh no, it seems to be working all right. But I'm going to change it anyway, and you'll see why. I'm going to make another macro in a second. R1 Robotron. Talk that. Okay, cool. So this is all working now. That's really good. So in a minute we'll go through some more of the memory map and write it down. But I just want to get the rest of this bit working first. We'll do the memory map, and then we'll finish the Robotron screen with the boost as well. It's playing non-stop. I reckon you're close to 80. Oh yeah, easily. The only reason I'm not is because I'm not really playing it through the day at all, and I'm only playing it 3 nights a week maybe. But I'm kind of glad because I don't really want to rush it too much. I don't want to, although I'm kind of enjoying the fact that there's stuff to level up as well. It does. If I tell you what, it feels a lot faster than Battlefield 5. That's for sure. But I think that's probably as well because there's a lot of XP kind of well, they are kind of glitches, but the kind of exploits really, aren't they? XP exploits, like the proximity sensor is just ridiculous. I had 2 games tonight just before this stream where I got over 100 assists. It was just ridiculous. It's 999 levels, so I think it's not like normal prestige. I think it's more like 10 prestiges. With 99 levels on each or 100 levels on each, more or less. I think that's how it's going to work. But whether or not, I think the XP might get harder and harder to get as you go on. So I think the difficult thing is going to be getting the red and black skin on everything, is getting the tier 1 of everything. That's going to be the hard thing to do. Especially if it's anything like previous Battlefields, and I hope it is, they'll bring out a lot of new weapons, a lot of probably they might even bring out new specialists as well. But they'll bring out new stuff that you'll have to level as well, but also missions as well. I read in the feedback from DICE that they're going to introduce the missions. So this was something they had in Battlefield 5 where you had like little tasks to do. Weekly quests sort of thing. It was something they did in Battlefield 5. I think they did it in Battlefield 1 as well. And it was kind of cool. It gave you something a little bit different to do, and it kind of changed the way people played the game for a week, sort of thing. So like you'd have a week where everybody was using weird weapons because there was a mission to kill people with these particular weapons. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, if they also add stuff in as well, it did work really well. Yeah, I liked it as well. It's a really, really popular mechanic, I think. Okay. So yeah, like I say, we'll come back and do the memory map in a minute. But what I want to do first is create a new macro, and I'm going to call this get sprite pointer. And you're going to pass a label in, and what it's going to do is going to take that value. Actually, this needs to be a function, not a macro. And this needs to return, a value based on this label. So what it's going to do, first of all, it's going to AND that value with it's going to AND the value with that, which is going to reduce it down to one of the banks. It's going to reduce it down to a 16 kilobyte number, and then it's going to divide that by 64. And that should return a value that's equal to the sprite pointer. And the reason that's going to be useful is instead of kind of guessing where the sprites will be, we can just, or not guessing, but instead of having to calculate where the sprites can be, we'll do something like this. So we'll use the first one here. And what we'll do is we'll create our laser sprite. But we'll do all our sprites will start with sprite underscore and then whatever the name is, right? So we'll do it like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to fill, in this case, because it's a dynamic sprite, we're just going to fill it with 64 bits like this. So then what we can do is up here, we can say, do it here actually. So now we've got that sprite pointer, and I can just drop that in here in place of all of these instead. So I just need to work out what these things are. Like add sprite, screen macro, add sprite. I think it's, wait, XY color frame. Okay, that's its X. That's the Y. That's the color. That's the frame. So it's weird I using F0 as the X as well. I guess because it's updated by the routine. So you can see at the moment it was pointing to FC0, but now what it's going to do is it's going to point to this location here. The only other thing I'm going to do, and I could do this just simply like this, right? This would have the same effect. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it a macro. So what I'm going to call it is start sprite area, and that's just going to have that aligning. So then I can do this. Okay, so it looks a little bit strange, but I think from the point of view of reading this as a piece of dynamic code, you'll know that when you get to this, that this is a sprite area, and any data after this is just going to be sprites, and it will automatically align it as part of that, rather than just have the align in there. And I think it's nice to have it like this. We could even make it highlight. Oh no, we can't because it would be a syntax thing. So yeah, but that's fine. So the only thing we need to do is we need to replace any time that we write into that sprite, which we do here and here, with this instead. Which again looks better anyway, because we're using labels instead of just random memory addresses. Well, not random, but memory addresses that might not make sense reading back through it. So cool. So as I say, the big advantage of this is what it's going to do. First of all, it makes all the memory for the dynamic screens completely contiguous, including the sprites. We can even put characters in there as well, so we don't just have to use characters. We don't just have to use sprites. We could put characters in there as well. However, the character would have to be copied into the font set as well. But there's nothing to stop us from doing that and putting the data in here and copying it into the font set. The other advantage as well is it gives us more room. So before we had only 2 kilobytes, we were going from A800 to B000, and actually found out that you can't even use all of that because there's an area where it stops the screens from loading. So, so this actually fixes that issue as well by giving us much more room. And in turn, what that'll do is will free up more room down below as well. Okay, it's not clearing properly. Why is that not clearing? If I might have missed one of the sprite pointers somewhere. Laser. It's a sprite pointer. Generate sprite pointer. Okay, let me just print that value out just in case I'm getting it. Just in case that macro is wrong. I don't think it is, but switching it to. Just while we test it, just to make sure it's right, and I want to go through and tidy up some of these output strings as well. Oh, stinging like shit, that head caught on my head. It's just one of those kind of horrible grazes, you know what I mean? B5. Okay, now that seems to be fine. Should probably start on that screen. Let's move the start screen to the beginning somewhere. Let's close that one down. This has kind of been needed for a while, to be honest. I've been too busy trying to make things, trying to fill things out to actually make the code easy to work with. I mean, it's definitely easier to work with than most pieces of code, but should have mapped the memory a long time ago. But yeah, Hobo didn't come back, did he? Oh well. Okay, so what's going on there? It looks like it's not clearing it properly, or something else is writing into it. It should be clearing it, but let me think, where would that actually be in memory? It should be clearing it. All right, let's take a look through. Maybe it's doing something odd and I'm not. Okay, so it's not that anymore anyway, so let's see where it is. Here we go. So this needs to be that. Let's make sure that's the only place where that happens. Let's get rid of these things now. Don't need all of these debug statements anymore. Start tidying these things up. So every time I go through these files now, I'm going to try and just tidy them up a little bit. Get rid of the crap we don't need, basically. See, like, what's this? Load. Calculate first sprite number to hide. Store data frame. Why is it that number? Doesn't seem right. We'll come back to that in a minute. That could need changing, although that wouldn't apply to FC either. It would be F0, it should be. So I don't think it's that. That looks fine. That looks fine. Yeah, that's all good. Right. I think that's probably it, but let's give it a try anyway. Hey, Night Shift. Welcome to the stream. Think of his ban. I think he just timed him out. I don't think he banned him. Yeah, he just timed him out. Oh, CPU jam. Why is he actually doing something weird here? Oh no, it shouldn't be laser sprite pointer. It should be laser sprite or sprite laser. So let's change that as well to match. So we've got the actual sprite data and the sprite pointer. Okay, that makes more sense. I think logically it reads better to me. Just looked up some original gameplay. Oh, of this game. The music Jason Page has done is very good as well. It's he's not banned, but I think he's drunk. Yeah, I think he probably was drunk. He seemed a bit different. Okay, it's not crashing out, but it's not drawing this properly. It is positioning everything right. It is doing the colors right, but it seems to not be drawing in the right place. So maybe I put the wrong thing in somewhere. Let's take a look. So, well, here's where it should be clearing the line. And it should be doing that at Sprite Laser, which is that data down here. So I don't know why that's not showing. It's almost like the frame numbers are wrong on the update. So maybe this is wrong here. So this is the draw. 47. I think this is a blank frame. Yeah, this is the blank frame actually. So let me write that at the top as a constant as well. I mean, we could include that in here. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to do that. So maybe I'll do that actually. Yeah, I'll do that because then that makes it sensible to use it like that. Keep it self-contained in it. Keep everything in the same place. I didn't think it'd be this much of a pain in the ass, but whatever. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. And then there should be a frame change. Because what this is doing, this is turning all the frames off that are in the blank area. So anytime it goes past the wall, it turns those off. Everything else should be reset. So it should be doing update. Sprite laser, Y. That's right. Yep. Looking for frame. Anytime it says frame, that's... Here we go. Ah, there we go. So that needs to be... Yeah, I missed one, that's all. And that's it. Then that'll do it. That'll all fix all the issues. I think that might be enough for you to get it now, I guess. I think you were just being very lucky with the ones you were getting before. Or unlucky, as the case may be. It wasn't... Yeah, there we go. It's perfect. Ooh, look at that. Look how close that was. Perfectly framed image, yeah. Yeah, I was right up against it then. Cool. So this screen is working properly. This screen doesn't have any dynamic code. What's the other screen with dynamic code? The swarm up here, isn't it? Okay, so actually, can I die on that? No. Can I move into that? I can move into that. Okay. That's something I probably need to fix at some point. Yeah, so dynamic code. So for instance, on this screen, these could be dynamic sprites, and they probably should be, and I will move them into that when we come to do this screen properly, which will actually be after the Robotron screen. This will be the first screen we come to. It will also have this barrier here, and that barrier could be actually it doesn't need, because it'll be a kind of randomly generated noise field basically that will kind of shuffle every time. Hey, some sidewalker, welcome to the stream. Okay, so that's another one of the dynamic screens. Oh, damn it. I didn't position myself correctly then. I don't have a mace now, so I need to trigger these and run away. So what's the other screen? It's just this Robotron screen, isn't it? So, and this seems to be working fine as well, so. Cool. Awesome. Right. In that case, we're kind of good to go with the dynamic code stuff now. Awesome. Do you have the full map? Yeah, the full map is in there. It is in there. We've just not activated all the screens yet. We've not coded them up, but the full map is in there. I did make a small change to, and you haven't noticed, so I'm kind of pleased that you haven't noticed. Let me load it up. Speed power up, just a bit easier. So to this dome thing here, I just reduced it by 1 pixel. So I mean, it doesn't really matter on this screen because I can't really get past without dying. So let me go onto a screen where it does. It saved a couple of characters as well. Oh, you noticed? There. Oh god damn it! I can't get past now. No. Oh, you have an updated version of them. Oh damn it! I've just made all those changes as well. Okay. Does it have that thing changed? Because there was a few things that I had to do to get it to work. So that was one thing I did. let me get a bit further. And the other thing I did was the large exploding mines. Try and get past this without dying for once. So that mine over there, this one here, I had to reposition it and so that it would explode properly. Because it wasn't centered. So yeah, I mean, I can give, because all I've done really is I've changed some of the character set. It's just really reducing things. I can go back and do them though. I mean, it took probably about an hour at most to do. So it's fine if you've got an updated version of the map. It's fine. The only thing is that shifting that. So it was in a 4x4 block, and I've moved it into a 3x3 block. So it does mean it isn't centered in some places. So there might have to be some little adjustments just to make it look right. Or, I mean, it doesn't look bad anyway. Actually, I can show you in here how it looks. But yeah, I did have a lot of problems trying to figure out how to do it. I thought while I'm in here and making changes, I may as well just do that little tweak that was needed. So yeah, I have changed this one here. So you can see now it's a 3x3, and that's, what's that done now? So there's a few bits like, yeah. So like here, I need to adjust these. So it's probably better if I take your new map and make the small changes, like use the changes from here. It's not a biggie. There's like a few. It's really hard to scroll around with the mouse like this. Yeah, so like these were just reduced down so that they fit inside one height, and the same with the wide ones as well. There's a couple where they were these ones here where they were a bit too wide as well, so they were adjusted. And just that mine as well. That's the only thing I changed. So I think the safest way to do this probably is for you to send me the map, and then I can try and see. Just first of all, just see how it drops in, and then just make the small, because it's only those two things that need changing: the little domes and that's it. That's all that needs doing. But there are some places, like I noticed down here just then when we were looking, that there's these little markers, and these markers are there because there's files that there's characters that need to be deleted, and that's because these were probably closer together. They were 4x4s, so in fact I can see the bottom of one and the edges of one. So this is like my little marker to tell me, oh, I need to go in and I need to clean that up. So I'd need to go in and do this basically. Oops. Just to make sure those areas work. But I'm kind of approaching it on a screen by screen basis now, because most of the base code is done now. So it's just a matter of writing dynamic code for some screens, and a few other little minor kind of collision things that we need to sort out. But the majority of it is just dynamic codes, going through each screen one at a time, writing anything that needs to be done for it. That's going to need to be reduced anyway, because all those mines blown up might be a headache. No, they'll be fine. No, they'll be absolutely fine. There's no sprites involved. Well, there's explosion sprites, but they happen so quickly that unless you manage to trigger them all at exactly the same time, you're not going to see anything other than staggered kind of explosions. It'll be fine, I think. Well, we can try it out anyway. As we go through the screens, we'll see as we go through them which ones are performant. We've built everything we need now to make a screen as dynamic as possible. We can put as much or as little code as we want in. We can load in sprites on the fly. We can load in fonts on the fly. Load in code on the fly. We can even change the amount of processing time we dedicate to the multiplexer, to the particles, on a screen by screen basis as well, to make sure that if if a screen is heavy to run, we can just reduce the particle count and the multiplexer count down to a level where it runs better. That's a nice kind of feature to have. It means when we go through these screens now, it's really just a matter of one screen at a time, going, right, okay, we need to, like, for instance, on this screen over here, we just need to write, we need to finish this bit off in here, which we'll do in a minute. I want to just make sure as well, if I kill that, go out, come back. Okay, right, so that's the next thing I need to do, make sure that that doesn't happen. Right, let's do that now. That's kind of quite important, I think, before we continue. Okay, so where's my player file? Where's my player gone? It's not here. Oh, game loop, that's why. I'm going to take a little cigarette break in about 10 minutes and go and wash my head as well. That's going to have such an annoying scab on the top of my head, that I'm really not looking forward to that. Right, okay, so if I grab that and go out and then come back. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, but let's investigate what it might be. So it's loading this code. Thank you very much, Codex77 for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Get a hat. I've got a hat. It's a Santa hat though. I'm not going to wear that out and about. I have to honestly say, if this game would have been released in old times, it probably sold for millions. Don't make me depressed. Don't make me depressed. I think writing something like this back then would have been difficult. Firstly, because parts were kind of quite late to the game, at least the size of cartridges that we have now. I mean, you had ocean carts and stuff, but they were quite late to the game, so it would have been kind of a late release as well. I think as well we have the advantage of modern IDEs, so the stuff that we do now makes it a lot easier to do these things. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the compliment as well. It's appreciated. Would have been pirated to fuck. Yeah, that's true. And it still will be. I guarantee it will be. Okay, let's have a look. Right, so we load back. In fact, do you know what? Before I start this, I'm just gonna go and check on my head. Have a quick cigarette. So I'll leave you with the quiz, which is about to start in a minute anyway. And I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Be right back. Well, less than that, probably. Be right back. I'm back. Bloody typical. I had a tube of Germaline somewhere. I've seen it pretty much every day for the whole year, and now I need it. I don't know where it is. Typical. Jaguar game. Somebody's got to get that. Come on. It's a Jaguar game. There's only like 3. Actually, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure you could look it up quite easily. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh well. Okay, so let's have a look what happens when we come into this screen. Actually, I want to check all the dynamic screens. So before I dig into this screen, just in case it isn't this screen, I want to check that the same doesn't happen. I don't think it does happen with the laser, because I'm pretty sure I went in and out of that screen more than once. Yeah, okay. So it's just that screen over here. And it's probably because there's some variable setting or something like a callback that's being fired that doesn't exist anymore when we go and jump into that screen. So it's trying to call a callback which isn't there anymore. And it's because what we need to actually do is reset everything when we come into this screen. So not clear, it's right at the top, isn't it? Okay, so where's our initialization? Here we go. So is a Robotron screen? Yes. Complete callback. So the callback is getting set. Okay, let's put a border increment in. Just make sure the init function is being called properly. Let's just work our way through and see where it's crashing. Should probably open the screens in here as well. So we've got this one and we've got this one as well. It should just be loading in these pieces of code. This is persistent. This stays in memory the whole time. So it could just be this warning counter is at a weird number. And it shouldn't be being loaded a second time anyway. So the first time we go in, it should almost check, is the warning counter 0 if it is. In fact, I think making that change will fix it. Let me just try that. So this should be as simple as should be as simple as that, I think. I'll do it like that, it's fine. Keep the border color changing just in case it doesn't work, and then save me loading it again. Okay. So border color change, that's good. Okay, then we go out. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's what it needs to be. Now, the only thing that's going to happen, and this is, I think it's a compromise we probably need to make, is if you don't grab the bonus when it drops and you leave the screen and come back in, the bonus will have disappeared. But the chances of you doing that are quite slim. You're probably always going to go for the bonus anyway. And in order to make it stay there, we'd have to dynamically update the persistence data for that screen, which would be kind of nightmarish. So I'm not going to do that straight away unless there's a desperate need to do it, which I don't think there will be. I'm not gonna do that. I think it's a tiny compromise to make. So what's this one? I like that background. That's cool. I like the positioning. Codrisaw, you've done some great positioning with the characters, because they're all. He's looking at the top of my head. He's going, "Oh, that's a nasty cut." It's good. I like it. Okay, cool. So that fixes that issue anyway. So I think what was happening is when we come into this screen a second time, it's loading these in, which is fine, but this warning counter would have been a big number. I mean, if I just do this, I don't think it will be a problem. So I just want to confirm that my theory is correct, even though I'm going to leave it as it is. Did you render these? Oh, you mean the backgrounds from Codrisaw? Have you figured out what it is yet? I mean, I'm guessing you must have figured out. Well, Eldris must have figured it out anyway. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so there's the warning. So now if I leave and come back in, it should trigger the screen again, in theory. Yeah, okay. So it was to do with that warning counter. That's the problem. Yeah, okay, cool. So that is the right fix then for it. Exactly the right fix. Cool. Oh. Okay, cool. Right, so that's that side of things done. Okay, so now we need to do the actual prize. So we do have the sprites already. So we're going to do this again. We're going to do what's it? I forgot what the macro is called now. Start sprite area. Start sprite area, and then sprite bonus pod. I should just call it. Yeah, just call it sprite bonus because it's going to have a few things in here. So import binary, and then we're going to import. Where is it? Where's it gone? Assets s20.bin. Let's call it bonus pod. Let's actually change the name of it. There we go. So we've got bonus pod.bin. So that's got 3 sprites in it, right? So then up here we can do. Actually, did I put the constant inside? I did. All right. Let's do the same up here. Did I put that outside the laser thing? I did not. I put it inside the laser. Okay. That's just, I just want to be consistent. Not that it really matters much, but let's make it consistent. I prefer that to be back like that. I think it just stands out a bit more. Okay, cool. So now we've got sprite pointer bonus pod equals get sprite pointer, and then there'll be another one here which will be the same thing but plus 80, and this will be okay. So now we've got 2 new sprite pointers that we can use in the game. All right, so all we need to do at this point is we need to spawn the bonus pod as a sprite. We need to make it move down the screen, and then when it hits the floor, we're going to turn it into characters. So we're just going to draw a normal bonus pod in that position. It matters, easier to understand your code. Yeah, I think yeah, I prefer this because I can see a kind of chunk of. I don't know. I just prefer that kind of formatting for some reason. I don't know exactly why. Just for me, it looks a bit easier to read. When I see that, I know straight away this is sprites, and here's the first one, here's the second one, and so on. So, when you make number 2, yeah. Well, I mean, if I make a number 2 for this, then it's going to be my own game because there isn't a number 2. So. A Mega 65 version is not entirely off the cards. I would really like to use the power of the Mega 65 to throw thousands of particles on screen and stuff. The macros are cool. New people often get fooled and think you program C. Yeah, it is kind of like that. People really do think there's some C going on, and there really isn't. So 1 billion particles confirmed. Yeah, I mean it's entirely possible to put well, not 1 billion, but we could definitely put what's that? So let me just insert.
Oops. Near me. You can hear me nattering. Yeah, it's entirely possible to use a higher res mode as well. So you could use 80 by 50 mode, which would make things look a bit crisper as well. Possibly you could use the raster rewrite buffer to create a grid over the top with a bit of chromatic aberration on it, so ever so slightly. You could probably do that in 80 by 50 mode. I would think, anyway. I think it would be possible. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to make the Mega 65 version a bit more interesting. So closer to the original. Maybe not like the warp, because it's got a bit of CRT warp. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think, anyway. But yeah, definitely do some stuff to make it look closer, like lots and lots of particles for sure. And lots of sprites as well. There would be no need to do multiplexer. You could just use raster rewrite buffer sprites and use tons and tons of sprites, and not have to worry about any of this performance stuff or memory stuff. You can just load the entire game into the expansion RAM and run it from there. Well, not run it from there, but load things in from there. Okay, so we need to spawn the sprite at this point, and then start bringing it down. So let's work out what we need to do. Okay, so we need a sprite position. And this will just be a Y position. Actually, we can hard code the X position. That's absolutely fine. Oh, that was weird. What was that noise? I got a strange noise on my. I might have been Sean stopping playing Battlefield. So we just need a Y position. So we'll initialize that Y position with a value. I don't think we need to fractionally move this. There's really not much point. It's just going to move smoothly down. It doesn't even... I don't think it drops like gravity. I think it just kind of falls down to the ground. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do the stars. So let's make that happen. Let's pick a... I mean, I don't know where to put it. Let's put it there, I guess. And let's put a pod Y speed in. So the reason I'm putting pod Y speed, even though it isn't going to change, is because I can just reset that to 0 when it hits the floor, and then we can use that as like a flag, if you like, to say that the pod has hit the floor at this point. So we don't need to. We need to convert it into something else. Okay. So what else do we need in here? We need screen 20 dynamic update. So dynamic init, dynamic update. Where's the dynamic code? Here we go. Okay, so the update is going to get called all the time. No, actually, is this... Oh yeah, so there's two pieces to the dynamic code. So let's write this one into the memory map as well. So this is A00, and I think this can go up to A800. Sorry, and this is base dynamic screen code. So what I mean by that, this is the code that loads the other code in. So this is the code that gets called every frame, and it's responsible for calling any of this additional dynamics code. So let's call this additional. So some screens won't need any additional code, but some will need large pieces of code like this. But if it can fit into this 2K, like this, like the warning and things like that, there's some stuff we can fit quite easily in here. Let's put another macro as well to deal with those as well. So let's have a look at macros. Let's copy that. Let's call it base bounds, and pass the screen value into that, and this will be A800. And then all we need to do is in the bottom of here, cool. Right. So that will just make sure that we don't. And the reason this is important is because we need to know if these things overflow, because they're not loaded in straight away, so we won't get any conflicts that tell us that we've overflowed. So we need to put some checks in, just some assertions to make sure that they do live in the correct area of memory and don't overflow. And it will also output nicely into the stuff down here, so we can see exactly where things begin and end. I might turn those fat index things off, so you can see here, we can see where those things end, you can see where that cart ends, so it gets really easy to spot things. Screen data, okay, let's put that in the map while we're here as well. So in the memory maps, so we have font map, yeah, so this one here. So map tables, screen vectors, and this is the screen vector. So it's B00, so actually probably more memory, but let's just put this in. Okay, so we've got B00 to B0. What is this going to be? Or is it BF00? Star minus 100. Oh, because, all right, so BF00, okay. So this is our screen pointer, screen vector, I guess, screen screen persistent code vectors, or persistent code lookup table, I guess is what it is, or jump table. Let's call it a jump table. This makes more sense. Okay, and then at the top here we've got end of screen data. Okay, so this is our persistent screen. So this can run from 8,000 to 8,000. So there's tons of room for this now, and we're not using anywhere near that at the moment. So that goes in here. And this is our screen persistent code. Okay, cool. And while we're here, let's... Okay, these are just dynamic codes. That's fine. We have to import these every time we import a screen. Map load. Okay, font map. Our font is at C800, so let's put that in. Oh, we've already got that in. All right. Font map. I think that runs from 7,400 all the way up to 8,000. So I'm going to put that in as that for now. And if it seems to be doing anything different, then so the font mappings is what maps the it's this big font basically. It's this big font here and how it maps into normal font space. It's what we use to kind of copy things along. So
ice. You'd say the darndest things to computers. That's weird. Yeah. How did it come up with that? Oh. Okay, I kind of get how it's done that. The search algorithm is really weird. So it's taken the FI from Fitzpatrick, the R from the darndest, the E from the darndest. It's ignored the and then it's got the I from things, the C from computers, and the E from computers. So it's found the string fire. Yeah, it's found the string fire. It has found and as well. AND, yeah. FIR. No, it hasn't. It's missed the and, so it's found fire ice in that string. Yeah. The words fire and ice can be spelled out by taking letters in sequence from that. So it's very bizarre how that search algorithm works, but it's given that higher points than fire and ice for some reason. It is very, very fuzzy logic, yeah. Okay, that's enough for the memory map for now, I think. Let's let me put the music in actually while we're here, because that's kind of important. Which I think is 2002, or is it 1000? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of those fat targets. They're not helping at all. They're just getting in the way. Let me do that now. Oh no, I can't, because they're labels for these. They have to be in there, unfortunately. That one doesn't though. Although that's actually file name. Yeah, that one doesn't have to be in there, but everything else does. Oh no, that is that one. Oh no, that one doesn't want to be in there. That's actually the more useful information. So it runs from 1000 to 2C8 So I'm going to say 2FFF just in case the music does get edited or whatever. So okay, and then game code. Let's put game code in. We might as well finish this memory map. Actually, looking at it, we're almost done. So that can run all the way up to. I'm going to say it runs up to 6 FFF, but I think it might be allowed to run. It's not what you want to do. It's only 15 seconds long. So this is game code high, and there's a game code low as well, which currently runs from 0500 to 884. I don't think there's anything else below that. The font mappings run to this. Okay, so let's do. That went a bit weird. So this is when the maps import. So this is map data, which is also dynamic. There's title screen code, so that's fine. I believe there's something at 7000 to 73FF as well. I'm going to actually look in the debugger. I've got bloody.
Reaver tuner on. So where would that be? So it's going to be kind of around here, right? Yeah, this area here. So I'm intrigued as to what gets stored here. I mean, it looks like code looking at that. But does it change when I go into the game? No, and it doesn't look like it gets run either. No, it's not getting run. Let's just go into this screen. Yeah, okay, so I think that could be game code as well. Okay. And I believe that will be... Okay, I think that's most of the memory map done. There's a few areas that probably need a bit more detail, but I think that's enough for me to understand what's going on. The music in the next half will be so bad because you picked so that's the weird tunes. Oh, a bit of Limbo's Quest though. I'll argue with that. I need to pick that Acnafin. Okay, cool. Right, so we need to make the update work for this one now. So what's currently happening is once the callback gets called, we come into here and the init gets called. So if Robotron is complete when this gets hit, then we need to yeah, there we go. Look, Robotron complete. Branch is not equal. No. Robotron update. So I actually think what we probably should do here is move this to up here instead. Jump ahead like so. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll jump into roboprize.update. Which means we don't need that. Cool. So we don't need to update the door. Oh, actually, we do need to update the doors. Do that there, like that. It's kind of doubling that thing, but I don't want to do the rest of this if I can help it. So, oh, that doesn't need to be there. Okay, no, robot update. Yeah, that needs to be there. So actually, if I do, actually, it doesn't make a difference if I do that and then jump to here or whatever. That's fine. That'll do. Okay. Music seems a bit quiet now. Another Sid artist is very good with bass lines. It's not this tune, the one that I really like the most, but it's did that load properly? No, something's not loading. What's going on here? Oh, variable update not present on. Oh, because I haven't actually put it in, have I? I put it in but didn't save it, and I didn't. It would have crashed anyway. All right. Let me just make sure that that's updating correctly by doing a border increment. It sounds all right. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. So we've got the... Oh, I didn't watch the door to see if the door opened properly or if it just disappeared.
I didn't see it again. I feel like it's opening too quickly or something. I need to keep my eye on the door as I shoot, I think. Or I'm just, it is just disappearing. Don't think it is, though. It shouldn't be doing. So let's line up. No, it opens probably. All right, cool. That's fine. Awesome, and the update's working. So, right, now what we can do is we can assign the sprites for this section. So we do that in the init first. Why is that? Deselect. If I got another... Why have I got two Cecconoid files open? Okay, I don't know why I've got two of these open, but I have. I'm going to close that one. No, don't save. No. Weird. Very open very quickly, yeah. I'm just being a bit slow, not spotting it. Okay, do I need to do... Oh, yeah, right, sprites. So if we have a look at another screen which sets some sprites up, so the very first screen does exactly that, this one. So we can see exactly what we need to do. So we will need to register a bonus pod, but we need to do that when the sprite has landed. So it's a little bit different, this screen. This is why this method of... It sounds like Ghosts and Goblins. It's got the same instruments. So we need two sprites here. This is our X position. This is our Y position. The Y position we'll set to this value first. So it matches. Let's make that a constant as well. This will be plus 24, sorry. Color is white. No, the Y position will be the same. This will be plus 21. So let's put an X position starting here as well. Just keep it the same for now. So let's make it nice and neat by putting that in. And then this will be... And now it's turned into a Shoot Mod Construction Kit sound effect fest. Hey, Microman. Maybe it's dudes with glasses in black and white pigs. Okay, so we've added two sprites in. We do need to store the index here, so we'll do that on this one. We don't really need to store the index for both because they will be... Actually, they may not be consecutive, may they? They might be different, depending on how the multiplexer decides which ones to use. So I am going to create these different... So pod half one. Let's call it pod left index, pod right index. Ooh. Ooh. I'm skipping this one, sorry, I can't handle that. Couldn't handle that. It's too much for my head today. He was right. He found some crap. That's for sure. That was very short. Random tune contest. All right, I'm just gonna type a random word in here now. We'll see what that is. I typed the word fish. Okay, so now we know the indexes of these, and we should, in theory, see that appear now. Let's keep that one open in case you need it. Let's close some of this other stuff. Need those. Keep the macros closed. Yep. What a terrible tune. What? Oh my god, what a horrific sounding tune. Wait, that didn't cue it. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so we should see a sprite appear, which we do. Awesome. So it needs to appear around about here somewhere, I think. Or is it? I don't know if it's in the middle or not. I can't remember. I'll just position it kind of randomly for now, and we can work out the exact kind of starting location for it soon. Right. So on update, what does it need to do? It needs to update its Y position, which is this value here, and it needs to check if it's reached the end position. So let's put these in as comments first. So update Y position. If we've reached floor, set speed to 0, and remove sprite. Set speed to 0, remove sprite, and create shootable pod. And then what do we need to do? Update multiplex sprites. So we need to update the sprites with that new data. Oh. Okay, so let's start by updating the Y position. So that's kind of easy. We're just going to take pod Y position, add pod Y speed. If we reach the floor. Okay, so where's the floor going to be? Let's actually let's put these up here. Let's make this D0. We can change this value if it's wrong. Okay, so we need to skip here in case we don't need to do any of this. So we're going to compare that to floor YPOS. If it's less than that, we jump to skip. Otherwise, sounds very Prodigy. Sounded a bit like oh god, what's it called? From one of the later albums, one of the more recent ones. I can't remember what the name of the bloody tune is now. Yeah, someone did discover sampling. Thank you very much, Void233, for the sub. Appreciate it very much. Cheers. I'm only drinking water tonight, though. No vodka to cheers you with. But welcome to the stream. Thank you for the sub. All goes back into the stream for prizes and stuff. So, actually, if you sub now, you should still have a subscription on the 23rd of December, and subs who are on the stream on the 23rd of December will have a chance of winning a PlayStation 5. So it's a good time to sub. I need to actually post that on Twitter at some point. So yeah, you picked a good time to sub. You just need to remember to come back on the 23rd of December. Should be an interesting stream. We're going to do a marbles on stream for that. Hey, Kodiogo, thank you for the sub as well. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, it's all right. You come when you need to. What is that song? I need to know what that song is from Prodigy. You'll know what I mean when I mention it. It's Action Radar or something. I can't remember. I know it when I see the name. It's the track list. Yeah, Action Radar, I think it is. I need to listen to that album again. Oh, is it there? That'd be great if it is there. It's not though, is it? I always pick rhythm as a dancer though. That's interesting. And there we go. And there's another word that now looks wrong for some reason. Rhythm. I need to make sure that that's spelt right because I feel like it's not. No, it is spelt right. It's just my brain that doesn't like looking at it anymore. Right. Group therapy. You pick that. Oh, very short. Oh god, this one's 10 minutes long. I hope this is decent. Hey, Steps, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it. Don't mind drinking water for bits. I don't get quite as pissed. It's pretty good. Thank you very much. Did you manage to get your... I saw a message as I was leaving the office. I didn't get a chance to answer it. Did you get the answers to your SID stuff? What did you ask the last thing? Oh, okay. We could use it anyway. All right, okay. Looks like you figured it out anyway. Cool. You posted in the Meg65 Discord. Okay, cool. Oh, Warlock, thank you very much, and welcome to the stream again. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for the gift subs to Dale Andrew Darling, to Chosinger, to Power Down System. Hey, Power Down System, to Five Sprites, and to Inverted God as well. Thank you very much. Always appreciated, as ever. Pays for these PlayStation 5s. I say PlayStation 5s, there's only one. But there may be more next year. We'll see. Need more coffee. Yeah, I probably don't. I think I've drank quite a lot of coffee today. Okay, right. So let's store that in Podwire speed. Okay, so at the moment, this is just gonna... The sprite's gonna move down the screen, and then when it hits a position, it's gonna stop. Which will be enough for us to adjust the floor location as well. Oh, are we on hype? I thought so. Thank you very much as well. I mean, it's always appreciated. Hype train or not, it's always appreciated. Thank you very much, SP, for the bits. Cheers. I need some more water, actually. And I don't have any. Oh, I might have some over on the other side of the room, actually. Is this Saturday the demo compo? No, the Saturday after. The Saturday after. I extended it a little bit longer than usual, just to give people plenty of time. I will be building as much as I can around, so I was ready to join 2 hours ago and then got stuck in work stuff and forgot. Yeah. Oh, goddamn work. Thank you, Nikimo, for the bits as well. Cheers. Right, let's see if this is working then. So we should see this move down the screen, hopefully. Okay. Oh, it's not because we're not actually updating it in the multiplexer sprites, so that's why. Okay, so what we need to do, let's have a look at how we do it in here. Okay, so we can pretty much copy that. And we just need to change a few values here. So this becomes pod left index. And this becomes, is it YPOS? I can never remember what we called it. It's going to be YPOS, isn't it? But I can't remember if it's capitalized or not. Probably not, actually. No. Very inconsistent with my capitalization. It's something I should improve more. I've kind of got more and more lax with it as well since I stopped coding as my main job. And then this would be position, pod Y position. So okay. I hope we get a couple of demos. Cool. All right. It needs to go down what looks to be, I'd say that is 10 pixels further down. Rise. I'm going to up the speed as well. I don't know what the speed actually is, but I'm going to move it 2 pixels at a time. There's a second compo also. The second compo is the big Christmas compo that ends on the same day. So the deadline for that is the same deadline as the demo competition. That's why I was mentioning 2 competitions. Thank you very much for the follow, Pund. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're okay. It's not bad. I think it needs to be another pixel. Actually, no, I think that is kind of on the floor, isn't it? I mean, it does need a bit of a gap. Let's compare that to... Yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect. Okay, but then at this point, you see, it's not... I can move through it, which I don't want to be able to do. It's all right while it's falling, because that's... actually, it might be a problem if you kind of... I need to have a think about how that... Because we might end up getting stuck in it. I don't mind if it falls through you as it falls to the floor. That's fine. But once it's on the floor, like if I stand underneath it, am I going to get trapped in it? There's a possibility. So let's change this. Well, let's leave the speed at 1 for a second, just so set that in here anyway. So I can test that theory once it gets down there. So what I'm going to do now is, if we reach the floor, set the speed to 0. Okay, so I'm going to, if we reach the floor, I'm also going to set the frame to 0 as well. I think that's enough. I might have to set a YPOS, like a really massive YPOS. Let's just try setting the frame first. I think that might be enough. So we're going to have to do the same thing here that we've got down there, which is a bit annoying. But as I say, this is dynamic code, so it really doesn't matter too much. So set that in frame. That might be enough to stop it from rendering. So what we want to see is it disappear now when I do this. What's that one? That's kind of cool. It's like a weird... A weird pug dog or something. It's in a bad song. It's just a bit long, that's all. Okay, it's weirdly flashing. I don't know why it would be flashing. Oh, because it's screen data. So it's probably going to flash if I'm close to it, I guess. So it's probably to do... I'm not exactly sure what that's doing, but it's kind of strange. We can change that to be a blank instead, which would be the easiest way to get rid of it rather than... Oh, no, actually, all we have to do is store it in this YPOS as well. Because what will happen is that will set the Y position to 0. Oh, no, actually, this needs to be in that like that. So it will set the pod position to 0 all the time. Oh, no, because it will be... Hang on. Pod position, so it gets past the floor YPOS, and then we set it to like a really high value. So if we set it to like FE or something, then it'll come back in here. It will add the speed, which will take it over. No, it'll keep scrolling. So let's move that to F8. That should be enough. Okay, that should be enough. Right, that should disappear now. I like this series. I think this is a clever series. Once you get it, it'll seem really obvious. Okay, cool. Right. So the other thing we need to do now is make that appear in this that thing appear in this position. So in order to do that, we need to do a little bit of kind of extra work here. So what we're going to do, so it's at this point here, we're going to jump to a subroutine here. This is going to be a spawn bonus pod. So it looks like we've already got a bonus pod, but we've only got a sprite representing a bonus pod. We're actually going to spawn one that we can shoot at. So this is where we need to do some trickery here. So the way this works is quite simple. All we need to do is we need to just draw on the screen the things that make up that bonus pod, and then we need to set some data to say that it's ready to be shot. So actually, it does need some persistence data. I think we do need to put it in. We just need to make sure it's not active straight away. So we probably do need to make this appear some. Okay, let me just put an RTS in here. Let me have a think about this. So if we were to just put the bonus pod in the screen, I think we need a hide bonus pod function. I think that's what we need. We need to hide and reveal. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to load up the project. So yeah, I think when Thalamus gives me the new version of this, I'm going to have to meticulously go through the character changes that I need to make, and then also just the little additions I need to make, and then give this file straight back to him so it's ready to be edited again should you want to edit it again. So I'm going to put that kind of here. That's going to give me some persistence data for this screen now. So there's going to be a bonus pod there. We need to register that it's there, and we need to put something in it. I can't remember what's in it. So has Nicomo onto it? Has he figured out what it is? looks like he has, thinking of it. Because that's a random thing to just pick, right? That sounds pretty cool. I like the sound of this. All right, so now if I go into this, what will happen? We should see the sprite there. So I think what we need to do is as soon as this screen loads... No, it needs to be invisible. That's the thing. And it's not. It's going to load in. It's going to scroll in with that thing in the bottom. So it's not going to work. Yeah, it scrolls in at the bottom. It's not destroyable yet because it's not persistence data. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, let's try a different approach then. It's worth a try. So we might need to put something in the screen persistence data anyway, just to say that it's there. Which would be in this one. So we might need something in here to say that there is something there. So let's have a look at the persistence data. See, this is not something I've had to do yet. So it should work with everything we've got. It's just a matter of figuring out how to make it work. So let's have a look at the persistence data for this screen. Okay, so we've got a bonus pod here. And we've got an X position, a Y position, number of hits, and which bonus it is. Okay, so let's put that in here. So if I put that there like that, now we've got a bonus pod at this position. So let's have a look where that is on the screen. So let's do it. We needed to go over to about here, I think. So that is 18 across, 68 down, whatever the hell that is. That's going to get confusing. All right, 24, which means this is 48. So this is 68. So that's 20 lines down, but it's 21 because we've got a top row of chars. So okay, so it can be revealed and shot at. Okay, so 21 down, so that makes this... Wait, what screen was I looking at that was in? 10. Or is this the... Oh, no, yeah, that's X, that's Y. Okay, so yeah, that's correct value. And 18, so it's like 1, 2, like that. And let's put... Well, let's keep it at 0, 3 for now. I can change the bonuses if we need to. And let's move that comment to above it so it's a bit easier to read. Okay, so now we've got some persistence data. So that means if you hit something at that location, this persistence data will be updated. So that means we can now draw something at that location in here with this spawn bonus pod, which means I need to go and find what those characters are, which means I need to find the... Oh, God. I need to find these in the list. Wait, hang on. Think about this a second. Because the font's dynamically loaded in, so... Ooh, what's this? How would I do this? Because it's not going to get loaded in because the screen hasn't got it in there. So it needs to be added on the fly, I think. So how does it know when you shoot? How does it know that that's... Let's just put something in that location. Let's do that. So let's take a value like 0, 1, because we know that's going to be a base character. So it's going to be one of these things up here. Actually, it's not going to be that. It's slightly different, isn't it? So let's have a look. What's the base characters? Save that first. Just got to think a little bit clever about this, how this is going to work. Yeah, okay, so it is going to be like that. So we'll put 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Let's put 0, 4 in because that's kind of a nice small pattern that matches. Okay, and we need to store this at the screen somewhere. So this is going to be screen RAM plus, what was it? It was 18 across, wasn't it? So plus 18 or 12 in hex plus 21 times 40. Okay, let's just put this in manually for now and see what happens. So this would be see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen here. So yeah, you do get randoms. Occasionally, though, you get a decent tune. This is, I mean, at least this is in tune, but it's got some weird noises in it. But it's bearable, just about. All right, let's see what happens now. So shoot that. That's going to move down. Then that appears. Then can I shoot that? Okay, so that doesn't explode. So why doesn't that explode? Also, it's a cross by 1, so... So what I need to know is when... No, pin it. Oh, it is pinned to the... Unpin. I don't want to... Yeah, there we go. When we hit something, what's actually working out whether or not we've actually hit a bonus pod or something explodable. I thought the persistence data was doing that, but maybe it's not. Or maybe it's because of where I've positioned this thing. I need to have a look at what's going on. Ah, now this is a good tune. Probably the best tune. So what is it in? It's not entities, it's destroyables, isn't it? Where's destroyables? Of course, it's in particles. Okay. So when we hit something, what actually happens? So this is kind of what happens here. Let's see if this actually gets called. So you know, I'm just going to type in Lman. Oh, got another one by a bad one, which wasn't a bad thing, but let's type its name in. Okay, I didn't get anything I wanted there, so I apologize if the next 2 tunes are rubbish. Let's see what happens now. So I'm hoping to see border color changes, which I do if I shoot the walls, because we've hit something. So I definitely get that there. Okay, so that's correct. We're definitely getting into that routine. Okay. So does this start then comparing positions to persistence data? Let's have a look. I know what the thing is. We have a mapping, don't we? That maps the screen into that position, so we're actually looking. So when we do this, where is it? This stuff here. This data actually contains the screen position, the additional data that we store in. I mean, this sounds awful already. So we have some extra data in the materials, and this extra data is what's being read. I mean, it's only a minute long. I'll leave it on. Okay, so in that case, I think I need to find out where that data is in memory. And I think that's what this is doing here, collision point. Because it's not... in fact, if I just put a breakpoint in there, then I can see what that is in memory. That's going to help, I think. It's just an odd screen, this, because this doesn't happen anywhere else in the game, or if it only happens in one more place, we'll be able to copy it. Okay, why is it doing that now? Is it because it's... Oh, because that's destroying things, that's why. I need to turn the mace off. Let me turn the mace off. This sounds pretty cool. Tune want to hear. Oh. Until it says very specific demo tune. Okay, so probably going to get... No, okay. I mean, at this point, I could have just done sprite collision, couldn't I? But I want this to work because I feel like this is something that may be useful for other things later. But we're not hitting that, which is interesting. So why aren't we hitting that? Why wouldn't we hit that? Well, we wouldn't hit that if... Oh, if this value was not 0. Okay, so let's do that there then. All right, I'm bored of this tune already because I want the next one on. Okay, right. So if I disassemble 65A0, you can see collision point is at 99 in 0 page. 99 is there. 7EE0. Okay, so that's because we obviously have a copy of the screen at that point. So let me see. Where is our screen normally?
This is screen. Yeah, there we go. So this is our screen at the moment. And if we were to double that value here, so okay, let's work out this. Just want to check something because I think we're storing 16-bit screen data in another location, so we need to update 2 locations to make this work. Who picked this? It's got to be Steps, right? Oh no, Acmafin. Oh yeah, it's Humper. That makes sense. Makes sense. 11. No, sorry, wait. 11 plus. Oh, damn it, right. 11 plus 15 times 28. 359. So times 2. 6B2. Okay. But if we add 28 to that 60A, what memory address will we getting? An EE0. Okay, that's a weird. Oh. No, I think that's right. I think it is doubled in memory. All right. So I think if I do. So this stores it there. And then what I need to do is I need to grab this other location. And have a look at. I think this might need to become a macro of some kind. So we can just spawn something in a location. I mean, it can live in here for now, but if we need to use it again, then it will change. Okay, so there is this other location. This is screen point. No. Where's this collision point coming from? Update bullets. Screen. Screen S. Update bullets. All right, let me have a look in bullets. Screen SM is here. And this is modified code. Screen LSB, screen MSB. All right, let's. Okay. Screen is not a 7EE0 though. That's weird. But if I look at my memory map, I do have this map data, which I think is what's going on. I think we're loading in that there. So let me just go and have a look at that location in memory. So if we monitor this one, so this row C348, this is what we see. So this is the data on that row, and we can see the let's see, where is the there 040404. So that's the crate at that location. So it's at C359 pretty much. And it's saying that there is 7EE0, yeah. 7EE0. Which there is nothing there. Oh, but there isn't anything here at the moment. All right, let me move into another screen and compare that. So let me restart this. I need to see what it's writing there. This is the bit I like about this now. This is where I get to have a bit of fun. It's kind of cool. Okay, so 7CD1 is what it's saying. If we have a look at our screen, we can see there's a barrel here, which is at like C118. So if I just look at that one first. So this is the row here, and I think it's these 25, 20, 26, 25. That's the barrels. And if I have a look at 7C1, 7CD1, Okay. What I'm struggling to do is to match this to 6050. And if I look at that in the map, how does that look? Three, 4, 5. Okay. And let's have a look at the script that pulls this in. Okay, these are the characters in the character map that they're pulled out from. Entity mine. Entity 4 sprite mine. No, it's not that either, is it? It's a barrel. Damn it, this is the problem with doing stuff and not doing it so consistently every day. Doing it like so infrequently is it's causing me a headache a little bit. So this is what we're hitting at the moment. Persist data. Okay, so let's have a look at the persist data for that screen. So screen 21. It's fine. I mean, I will get there in the end. I just need to figure out what the hell's going on. Right, these are the barrels. These are the positions. So I think it's this one we're hitting here. But the data that we're seeing is like a completely different collision mask. I don't know where it's getting that from. I can only imagine it's the upper bytes of... Oh, wait. I think I know. So, from what I remember, and I'll write a little note under here, actually, to... Let's write some stuff here like that. I'll put a star, and then we can... Oh, whatever. So, from what I remember, these are all exported as 16-bit values. So, you've got 9 bits which are used for the character number, which is why we've got a maximum of 512 characters in the set. Then the rest of the bits define some other properties, which means the value that we're seeing in memory here is actually shifted by 1 bit over. So that would actually be 30. No, that can't be right, because then... Oh, wait, I've just realized what I'm doing wrong. Where were we in the memory map? I forgot where we were in the memory map. Let me just go back and... Okay. So if I shoot that, what do I get? I get a value in the Y register of 54, right? So let me write that down. Because we're using Y indexing, right? So 54 hex. And then the memory address in here is 7CAB. So if I add those two values together, I get 7CFF. So if I look at 7CFF, I can see barrels now. So 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. So there are 3 barrels in front of me. Yes. Okay. And the 10-3, 10-3, 10-3 is these values: 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. So that means the row underneath will be 4, 5. Yes. Okay. I get it now. So in terms of memory positions, let's look at this. Let me try and position that so I can kind of line it up where it would be. So it'd be kind of like that. Oops. And the problem is I'm not going to get
So flex grid, no, flex grid isn't set up. All right, so this would be, we're already 40 across, so this would be 0 now. So this would be position 15. Actually, we can get this from the persistence data rather than do that. So if we look at the persistence data for this screen, it's this barrel here, so it's 15.7. Okay, put that into the calculator. Sorry, I'm talking out loud with this. I hope it's kind of making sense to somebody. So that's 15 plus 7 times 28. So it's 1,2D, which doesn't seem to match screen coordinates. But it's also doing this 54, so it's actually working out the bottom corner of it. So if I was to, where have I hit it actually? Let's have a look where I've hit it. I've hit it on the top, so I have definitely hit it in the right place. But I think it's working the top corner here as the collision. That's where the collision starts. So it can check a whole area around it. One 2D should be the location. So let me have a look in memory at C1 2D. Okay, not C. No, it's there. Look, 26, 25, 26, 25. But that's not all the barrels. 1, 2, 3 barrels. Okay, let's have a look at the screen again. Yeah, there, 26, 25. So C127. This is 25, 26, 25, 26, 25. So why is he saying 1, 2D? That's kind of quite far away for some reason. Or am I looking at the wrong barrel here? Hang on. This is X positions. No, that's the right barrel. It's this, definitely this one. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. I know I did the calculation wrong. Working in hex, I typed 15. 127. All right, now that matches. Okay. So 127 is this part here. So how does that map to 7CFF? That's the problem. It doesn't match the screen mapping. Oh, I know why. Because of the top row. So if we take 127 and we subtract one row from it, we get FF. If we add that to 7C100, we get 7CFF, which is exactly right. Okay, cool. Right, I know where we're at now. So let's call this map RAM. And let's go and put that into somewhere. Let's okay, let's put a little note here. Okay, so so it's not actually 7800. There's something else going on. So 700. So let's put not sure what that is, but this is collision data format map. Matches 1 to 1, except for a missing top row HUD. Nibble equals Charpad material number. Okay, perfect. Right. Whew. See, I can start. This is. I would have been a lot quicker with this if I'd have had some wine. I'm pretty sure. But whatever. Okay, so right with that knowledge now, I should be able to quite. Oh, I need to create this map RAM variable. All right, that's going to be. Do I have a constants file? I do, don't I? But I want to put it kind of with the screen RAM, or maybe in the map loader. Yeah, the map loader makes the most sense because that's where that data is gonna get filled in. So it's gonna be 7C00. Okay, and this will be maploader.mapram. Okay, so all I really need to do in here is change. Oops. Did I not do that in here? The reason to possibly use Visual Studio Code. Can't remember what the oh, there we go. Okay, it's too late now, but so all I need to do is remove one row from it because it matches the screen RAM. It's set for the missing one row, so we just need to do that. And then these values need to be the same as the material values, but the upper nibbles. So 1273. Let's write that down. 2734685. Yeah. So if I need to do this again, I will definitely turn this into a macro. So it's not being it's just being written once, and then if I need to make a change, it's super easy. Okay, so because it's going to be awkward at the moment. Anyway, has anyone else been watching Hellbound, by the way? I've only watched 2 episodes, so if you have, don't tell me anything. Just tell me if you've been watching it. It's kind of cool. I like it. I guess you'd call it kind of supernatural, kind of horror thriller sort of thing. It's weird. It's about some people in South Korea get visited by an apparition that tells them they're going to die in so many days, and when they do die, they're going to go to hell. And then these weird beasts materialize and beat the crap out of them, like horrifically beat the crap out of them, and then they do this weird thing and it chars their bodies, and then they disappear again, and it's about them investigating that. So it's kind of happened a few times, but there's only one that's happened very publicly. Happened in the middle of a busy highway, and it's about them trying to do that. And there's this religious group that claims it's God judging people, but like everybody's suspicious of that group because they're weird. They're a bit cult like and stuff. It's an interesting show anyway. Yeah, I've been watching Dexter as well. I'm enjoying that actually so far. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so I think that will work now. So I think what will happen is, regardless of what's on the screen now, it should explode like it's a bonus, and it should trigger our persistence data for that screen, which we set up. Let's see. People are discovering them. Well, that's good. That's what you want, right? That's what I like about this series. I think it is one that they can kind of figure out if they're careful, and they think about it a little bit. It is you can kind of work it out, and I like that. That makes it an interesting series, I think. Why is that not map? Oh, because it needs to be a label. I hate that. It's one of the worst things about Kick. It's constants. Constants are local scope only. Let's see if this has worked. Okay, so that drops down. Oh shit, I need to remove that. Okay, let's just do it. It's going to take ages. So if this works, the only other thing I need to do is the stars, but I'm not going to have a lot of time to do that. I'll have enough time to like add the characters in for this thing, but not enough time to do the stars. But it's a good example of how we can use the dynamic code to load in characters from a font set as well. It's not exploding though, is it? Okay. So we need to, okay, I need to go back to this again. I think we're on the right lines now. Definitely on the right lines. I will do the same calculation that I did on that other screen now, and I should be able to find those values in memory if it's correct. Okay, so there we go. Right, so if the Y register is 54 again. If I look in 99, I get 7EE0. So if I add those two together, I get 7F34. Let me just double check that. That's a bit of plus 54, 7F34. Yep, right. And if I take the screen coordinates of that thing, so it's down here, so 3F8, C348, sorry. So that starts at C359. So it's C359, 5A, 5B, 5C. So it's C3, 5C. So if I take 3, 5C and subtract 28 from it, I get 334. If I add that to 7C100, I get 7F34. Right, okay. So that's correct. We're getting the right values. So the question is, if I go and have a look at 7F331, 1273 4685. Okay, that should be I think it's because I haven't registered it as a pod. Maybe. So it's the last thing to try. So if we look on a screen that's got one, which is this one. No, that's not it. Sorry, this one. We have to register that there's a bonus pod there and where its position is, what type it is, so we know what to spawn when it dies. I mean, this is kind of tricky code. I'll be honest. But this is kind of what I want. I want it to be an interesting challenge for each screen. Some screens will get easier. Some screens will. Halo. What is that? Oh, caviar. Okay, so we're definitely getting into this routine. So the next, let's just see what happens now. I've registered the bonus pod. And if that doesn't work, then we can see where it's escaping that thing. Because what it should be doing is if it hits one of those collisions, it's going, okay, I've hit a 7, right? So it says, it looks at this, it says, okay, where's a bonus pod? Let's find a bonus pod on this screen. Well, let's say it hits a 3, right? So you say you hit this bit, it hits a 3. It says, okay, I've hit a 3, so I need to go this way. I need to keep going to the left until I find a number 1. If you hit a number 5, it'll say, oh, I need to go up one row and then start going to the left until I find a number 1. So it uses these to work out where the top left corner is. Then once it's figured out where the top left corner is, it can know what size it is by what numbers it's using here. So you'll see something that's something that's smaller. The corners are 1, 3, 5, and 4. And the corners of this are also 1, 3, 5, and 4. My God. So it knows kind of how to explode these things properly. I've still got a little twinge in my side when I sneeze then. It takes me a while to get over colds nowadays. I'm just getting old. Falling apart. My brain's not working properly. My body's definitely not working properly. Yeah, that's definitely not exploding. We're not doing anything to it. So let's have a look then as it tries to figure out things. So we know we're getting past this bit, or we must be getting past this bit. We must be getting to this bit here. So let's put an increment in there, just make sure we are getting to that bit. We'll do the stars on the next one. So okay, so we're definitely getting into the routine, which is looking for the top corner. And it shouldn't matter what it sees there because it's only using the collision. So and it wouldn't work if it was if it wasn't using that collision. So it's definitely, this bit's right. The fact it's registered the pod though, I don't think that really matters at the moment. As long as it matches, I think it should be fine. Which it should be that, which it is here. So that means it has to be somewhere in here that it's failing. So let's have a look where it can jump out of this function. Okay. Go to found. Okay, so we have a found routine. So let's have a look if it ever gets to here. I like that halo. It's cool. I feel special in a good way. Okay, so we're definitely hitting that found function. Okay, this is good. That means we're getting through all of this. It's finding the top corner, and it should be reducing the hit points. So let's have a look. Let's reduce hit points here. Okay, so what is this then? Exit without removing. Persistence lookup. Where is that being set? Okay, so let's put that in. Oh, this is the X position. So branch plus. Maybe these values aren't matching. All right, let's. We'll skip 4, so we'll come to here. So let's put this.
So it's definitely getting past this. This might be failing. So and this might be failing as well. Let's put it here because it should find a match theoretically, which is because it's comparing destroy X and destroy Y to the values in here. So destroy X and destroy Y are the positions that it's decided we've hit. So these are the values that get shifted. So like I say, when we hit this item here in this corner at number 5, let's make it a bit bigger. So if you hit number 5 with a bullet, it will work out that this is the top corner, and this becomes the destroy X, destroy Y. So these become the new values, destroy X and destroy Y. And then it looks up to see if there's a value in the persistence table which matches this. And it keeps doing that for every value in the persistence table, which we have here. So we have a value here until it finds an X, which is FF, which means we've reached the end. So it should find the top corner at this location. And that's definitely... Oh, no, it's not the location. Look, we've shifted it over. So actually, let's put this at 11... 15. Oh, this might be enough actually. 11, 15. Yeah, 11, 15. Yeah, all right. Oh, so I just need to do it here as well. That might be enough because it's not finding a match if they're not lined up. So if the top corner is not exactly in this position, then it will never think that it's found something. That's how it knows that it's found something. It tries to find a matching X position, a matching set of coordinates. So I think that's it. I think that might be enough. We have got an increment in there, so hopefully it will increment. I like that kitty. It's a cute kitty. That's a recent one, this one. I'm trying to fit that. That's the sauna, isn't it? Yeah. Let's close all of those. Right, I'm excited. I think this is going to work, which means we can end the stream on a high note, and then all I've got to do is dynamically add that characters for that's pod in, which can be part of this Robo Prize thing anyway. So that's kind of nice. Yet another good reason to have the code dynamic. Okay, so it drops. Yes. Okay, so it's not disappearing, but it did spawn something. Oh, wow. Yeah, man. Oh, I think I know why it's doing that. It's doing that because even though we update here, we spawn the bonus pod again, so... So what we'll do a little check up here. Just to make sure it skips over if we explode. That's why it's not disappearing as well. Trying to invent the concept of a bank. It actually reminds me of the boxes in Turrican when you shoot them and they just keep spawning stuff. Which is a nice point, actually. It means we could do stuff like that quite easily with this system. So that should fall and then shoot that enough and it should explode. I don't know why that sprite's gone all shaky, but it has kind of worked, I think. Let's try again. I'm not sure what happened there. Could be the multiplexer doing weird stuff. But it's easy enough to change. We can up the multiplexer values. Because once that has died, that sprite, we can kind of reuse. Let's do it from above. Let's see if it changes. If I... No, why is it flashing?
let's do this instead of setting anything on though. It could be these multiplexer frames being killed is causing it to update again, is even though the frame's been set would do some weird stuff. So do that instead. So then the other thing we need to do here is do star updates first. So that would just be spawning some sprites for the stars. I was wanting to build a single instruction CPU using necessary functions and implement subtract. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. It'd be kind of funny though. I'm not sure exactly what that instruction does, but I've never seen it before. It sounds like subtractive less than equal. Oh, why is it doing that though? Why is that sprite shaking? Let me try. So in the init, we'll do. So we have this one here. We'll reset the performance again here. Oh, imagine it's got 15. It should be fine. They really should be fine. I don't know why that's appearing like that. I can only imagine it's to do with these weird sprite positions or something. But if we return from this function and don't do this, set let's do that. It could be because of the frame position that I'm set. The positions I'm setting might be wrong, so it's confusing the multiplexer a bit. But we'll figure it out. But I think we're getting to the end of the stream now. And tonight I'll raid somebody and actually say goodbye, probably, because last time on Tuesday I just kind of went and raided somebody and raided D and didn't say goodbye. I just pressed the wrong button and immediately ended the stream. Okay, now I'm not seeing the sprite. Oh, there it is. Okay, but we're kind of almost there anyway. We're getting there. So let's let the race finish out. I'll find someone to raid while that's going. But yeah, I'm pleased with this tonight. It's pretty good. I'm glad I've got a memory map written down now. It feels a bit safer, kind of messing around with things. I know where to mess around now, and I've refreshed my memory on how things work a little bit, which is good. Just need to tidy this up, and then really we're left with kind of nice stuff after this. You know, this screen is done. There's nothing to do on this screen. This screen will be done at that point. To get rid of that border flash, but it can kind of stay for now. This screen is pretty much done as well. I mean, there's not really anything I need to do on this. Maybe make that sprite collidable up here so you can't go inside it like this, but yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal. So it's this screen next. So we'll be doing the force field next on this one. So this is a screen we'll visit twice. So we'll visit it once to put the force field on. And then when we come back and we have to go through this screen again, we'll implement swarm mechanics so that they kind of fly around. When the force field is down and you go into this screen, they fly around. What have I missed? What did I miss? Oh, are you going to replace the race with marble races during Be Right Bats? If I can find a way to implement the API, I may alternate it, or well, because the races are on all the time, aren't they, throughout the stream? So yeah, maybe. But I'd have to find a way to link it to shimmer shillings and stuff. But that would be kind of cool, actually. It would be nice. I need to have a play around with it and see. I'm sure there must be some way of doing it, automating it. It'd be really, really nice. I mean, if not, I can always just pick a race that lasts 5 minutes or something. But then it's the awarding of the. I want to give you guys awards as well. So looking at that swarm, I think I can figure out a way to do that. Several sprites rotated. Yeah, it's just a couple of sprites with. Yeah, it's there's not that much to it really. The hardest thing is getting the multiplexer to be consistent on this screen. I mean, it is now, but when they start moving around, it's going to be tricky. Also, I've got to get it so that when you shoot them, they just one explodes, not the group of three. So it's just a couple. So if you shoot a group of three, just one of them will die, and then if you shoot it again, then another one will die. So you need to reduce in numbers like that, which hopefully will look pretty decent, I think. But yeah, it's several sprites several sprites rotated basically. Yeah, let's show you the sprites actually. It's these things here. So it's only 5 frames, and it's just them kind of moving in and out and rotating a little bit. But I think it looks quite nice. The alternative was trying to make 50 sprites appear on the screen, which would have been an absolute nightmare. This chat program for modern day platforms, are we all retro? I do program occasionally. I mean, I don't really anymore, but only for work. It's mostly just writing little hacking tools now, to be honest. Okay, let's find someone to raid then. Who are we going to raid? Who's on tonight? Miko's on, Tonda's on, Chalk's on. Well, who's playing what? Let's have a look. So, Code Miko's got 3.8k. She doesn't need any more, I don't think. Tonda is playing, looks like a SNES or Mega Drive game. Chalk is playing, not sure what that is. Who's got the least? Let's raid Chalk. He's got the least. All right, I'm going to go and raid Chalk then. So cheers for coming along tonight, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you all on Saturday. We'll just carry on with the Mega 65 stuff. Nothing really to do on Saturday. No giveaways or anything. It's just a straightforward Mega 65 stream. Hopefully we can finish off that. Hopefully we can finish off that final bit of the clipping algorithm and get it actually drawing properly to the screen. It's not as difficult as it seems. The last bit, that working out the length and stuff, is not as difficult as it seems. So, okay, cool. Say hello to Chalk, everybody, and I shall see you all on Saturday. Cheerio, guys. Bye.